What's up, everybody? Let's talk about episodes 4 and 5 of She-Hulk. These were really good episodes, both of these episodes. Episode 4 felt very much like an MCU type episode. Like, most of these episodes haven't really felt that way. You've got a lot of MCU characters, showing up as special guests throughout these episodes. But each of these so far, I guess maybe the first one, and especially episode 4, felt like MCU episode, like what you expect from Marvel. Where the other episodes kind of had their differences here and there, where it did feel more like a TV sitcom, Ally McBeal type show, trying to be something different within the MCU. I'll give them credit for that. The episodes 1 and 4 feel very much like Marvel episodes. 4 is fun, but it's funny. I could have done without the action. Like, a lot of these episodes have been lacking in the action, and I've actually been okay with that because I want to know the character more. I want to know Jennifer Walters more. I want to know how she's dealing with being She-Hulk and kind of the popularity that comes with that as well, and how people view the two different sides of her. Because while she is one person, she's dealing with two separate, very different lives. And she's starting to see that, especially in episode 5.
I'm still Jennifer Walters. She-Hulk is just a thing that happened to me.
You said you didn't like the name She-Hulk.
I don't. I do admit, though, there are parts of it that I enjoy.
The episode 4, again, very much Marvel, but very fun as far as an episode. A lot of Wong, and let's talk about her. Let's talk about the main character in this one that kind of stands out, Madison. She is kind of like your typical cliche drunk female, but it works because of the dynamic between her and Wong. Like, it's an odd couple that I never would have thought would work, and they made it work in this episode. And you want to see more. You want to see more of her, but you want to see more of her with Wong specifically. Her by herself, she'll get very annoying after a while. But her and Wong, that dynamic, it just worked. And it showed Wong in kind of a different light as well, where it didn't necessarily take him out of his character per se, but it's like we get to know him a little better with how he interacts with Madison. So I loved every part of that in the episode, and I want to see more of that.
Oh, did you get a ticket for texting?
The magician, who's more or less a hack magician named Donnie Blaze, not Johnny Blaze, Donnie Blaze, he was a student of Cumbertage. So he was a student pretty much where Doctor Strange went, and he's trying to learn the ways. Like, you learn about that throughout the episode, but he dropped out because he was more or less using it for his own benefit, like bringing his friends to Cumbertage and using the sling ring to get beer and have parties and stuff. This is crazy. So they kicked him out, but he's still doing magic. He still has a sling ring, which I always thought was funny. Like, they get to keep that stuff. And he's using it in the most irresponsible way. And that's where you have, spoiler alert, that's where you have the demons that show up from this one dimension. And that's how they incorporate, like, all the things he's doing that are wrong and it's affecting Wong. That's how you incorporate Jennifer Walters, because then Wong uses Jennifer Walters, or She-Hulk, as his attorney to pretty much provide a cease and desist to this magician. So it's a funny scenario of how they're using the law firm aspect of the show to work within the MCU. Again, I like how it's showing like real world examples in the MCU anyway, real world, and how Jennifer can fit within those things as far as her work and her personal life, in this grand scheme of what the MCU is today. So that was very fun in episode 4. Again, there was a lot of action in that one though. Like, she shows up. This is after she actually creates her, it's pretty much like a Match.com or whatever, Tinder type account. She creates one as She-Hulk, has a bunch of dates. And a lot of those dates were like really lame. Like, why are you picking these guys? Like, you're reading their profiles, you're seeing the pictures. Why is she picking these guys? But I like how that is answered. Like, the questions I had of that were answered in episode 5. The episode is titled Mean Green and Straight Poured Into These Jeans. And that was pretty much part of her profile on her Tinder/Match profile, which is hilarious. At the end of episode 4, she's being sued by Titania. Yeah, Titania. Remember Titania? The lady who busted in the courtroom and had that horrible edited fight scene with She-Hulk. Yeah, her. She's back now after many episodes where she has not been seen. Well, she's been seen like on TV, but she hasn't been on screen herself. She's in this episode. I wouldn't say she's prominently shown, but she's there. I'm still trying to figure out what they're doing with this character overall, because I'm hoping maybe she gets her own episode and we kind of finally figure out why she was trying to bust into the courtroom, what that was all about, who was she trying to protect or save, or what's the deal there? Because right now she seems like a special guest character that could kind of just go away and we wouldn't care. I'm trying to understand how she is the main villain, if she is. Obviously, we know there's another guy out there or person trying to get Jennifer's blood for some reason, some nefarious reason. But why is she, Titania, Jamila Jamil, why was she so prominently shown as being cast and being the main villain? I don't see it yet. We're already at episode 5. We got 4 more of these left. So it's like, what's going on with this character? So hopefully she gets her own. But in this episode, she takes on the She-Hulk moniker and she's suing Jennifer Walters because she believes that She-Hulk is using the name incorrectly and that is her name, Titania. That She-Hulk is her name for her brand or her cosmetic brand, which is hilarious.
Why didn't you trademark your own pseudonym?
Why would I? Did Doctor Strange have to trademark his name? Did Thor?
You chose 2 examples of people who use their real names.
So they have a whole courtroom piece on that. And it's fine. The courtroom stuff overall is a little bit boring, but they go about it like in the right way. It's not too long. It's very short and sweet overall, and it doesn't take multiple scenes to get through a case. So I think that's fine how they go about that. What I really enjoyed about this episode, though, was we get to see more of the side characters. Nikki and Pug get a little bit of a side quest in this one where they're trying to pretty much find better clothes for Jennifer Walters when she is She-Hulk, because she just kind of wears this bulky suit and looks like a football player. And so they go and find this guy who can make one for her. And so there's this whole little side quest of them doing that. I feel like there was more scenes of them in this show than any other show, where we got to kind of just see them as them, like not Nikki being this, cheerleader all the time, and Pug kind of being this servant to a degree. You got to see them for who they are. I want to see more of that because I think Josh Segura as Pug, he's actually really funny. I've seen him in something else and I can't remember what it is, but he's pretty funny. And then Ginger Gonzaga, she's really good in the role as well. So I want to see more of just them kind of doing their own thing maybe when Jennifer is not around. I'd be okay with that. Another spoiler in this one, and if you've seen the episode, but if you haven't seen the episode, I'm going to go into a spoiler. So if you don't want to know, get out of here. I've already done a couple, but get out of here now. All right, cool. Daredevil, he's not in this episode. His helmet is, though. His helmet shows up. So he's going to be showing up at some point. I still feel like they're just going to tease him until like the very end, or maybe episode 8. I'd be very surprised if he's in the next one. Maybe he is. I don't know. I didn't watch any trailers or anything. I've been trying not to watch trailers for each episode because I want to just be surprised and just be in the moment. And that's helping. So far, that is helping. Outside the twerking session in the end credit scene of episode 3, I've pretty much been enjoying most of this show for what it is. And I think it's one because they're just having fun. They're having fun with the character. They're having fun with the source material. And it feels fresh and it feels different from most of the other shows with what they're doing here. And we're seeing characters in different ways, like Vaughn, like Tim Roth as Abomination. I'm excited to see, and just a teeny bit worried of how Daredevil will be portrayed in this one. So, because this is going to be technically a new Daredevil, because the Daredevil Born Again is more or less a reboot of the show, from what Charlie Cox was saying at D23. So this is going to be something different. So this is kind of going to be the intro of him being in the MCU. How's it going to be? Is it going to be a little lighter? Is it going to stay a little dark? Is it going to work within this aspect of the show? And then when his show comes out, it'll just be a little bit, more of what we're used to or something brand new. I don't know. So I'm interested to see kind of where that goes. But this was a really good episode. This one was actually pretty funny too. Probably the funniest so far for me. There's no action in this episode 5, but it still worked. And I was still engaged. And I also felt for Jennifer Walters, for one, because of how this case goes of her pretty much trying to regain access of the She-Hulk name. She has to pretty much embarrass herself in order to do that, based on the dates she went on, because these guys are into She-Hulk, but they're not really into Jennifer Walters. And so you really get to see how it's affecting her. Like, she doesn't really talk about it much. It's just her facial expressions, and they did a really good job with that. I like that. Like, the CGI can be spotty at times, but it still really worked. I was able to really understand what She-Hulk was feeling, what Jennifer Walters was feeling in those moments when these guys are talking about She-Hulk, but when they talk about Jennifer Walters, they've got all these bad things to say, which is weird because Tatiana Maslany is, she's gorgeous. I think she's cute. It's odd because like they're trying to kind of play her like She-Hulk looks so much better than Jennifer Walters. And it's like they do look the same, just the hair is different and one's green and tall. But that's just me. I don't know. But they did a really good job here. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. I'm excited to see more. We got 4 more episodes. It's crazy that we're already at 5. We got 4 more episodes, and then we're done with this show. And is this going to be a show that gets multiple seasons? We'll see, because Loki so far is the only show that's received a season 2, right? Nothing else has gotten a season 2 for Marvel. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the only one that I know of. So we'll see what happens. This could be a show primed for multiple seasons, more than any other show that we've seen so far. To me, that's just why I think. I think this show could go on for a little bit while also incorporating her into the movies as well. But it works very, very well in a TV format, I think. So that's just me. But I do want to see Deadpool and her like talk at some point, whether it's on the show or in a movie. They've got to have a conversation and then do like a fourth wall thing together. That'd be pretty amazing. So let me know your thoughts on She-Hulk episodes 4 and 5, or just throughout the series, whichever one you want to talk about. It doesn't matter. But let's talk about mainly episodes 4 and 5. Your thoughts, your theories, when you think Daredevil is going to show up. And I'd love to see what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Members, subscribers, watchers, however you support the channel. It's really awesome. I really enjoy it. I like that we can talk about this stuff together and also laugh together when we watch some funny videos. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you. I'll see you in the comments, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. Take care.